guys, I'm BNS.
Welcome back to my channel.
In this episode, we're gonna feature Cal Newport, one of my most favorite authors. Cal Newport is completely a different type of species, I should say.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because he is a person who never used social media.
What?
Guys, imagine that a person did not use social media ever. Can you believe what their mind is going to be like? We are always surrounded by the noise around us and we don't have such clarity of thinking. But imagine a person who never used social media and imagine how his brain is going to be and how much clarity of expression and thought he is going to experience. So that's why he became quickly one of my favorite authors ever, and he wrote really good books like Deep Work, Digital Minimalism, Slow Productivity, and so many other books which really shows how to improve in your life. So before we go into the lessons, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I interview world-class experts on health and mindset and have read more than 600 books till now, and I love to learn something from everyone. So this YouTube channel is specifically for me to share the lessons I learned from one of the best people I have ever experienced. So if you're interested in learning such kind of valuable lessons, please do subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Now let's get right into the lessons. So the first lesson I learned from Cal Newport is called Deep Work. One of the best works of Cal Newport is a book called Deep Work, and that book is going to be a very important for the future generations, because nowadays we are not able to focus at least some few minutes on the things we are looking at or reading. That's why we are not able to concentrate on anything. If you do not have any concentration and if you are not able to focus intensely on certain topic, then how can we be successful in anything? So Deep Work is a cornerstone, or I have to say keystone book that you have to read in your reading journey. So deep work is nothing but the ability for you to concentrate deeply on certain work you are doing without getting disrupted by all the noise around us.
Strong focus on what I want.
So many people think that, okay, I'm doing all these things every day, like I'm busy.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now.
See, that's what I'm saying. Busy is not equal to being productive. Many people equate shallow work with deep work. But in reality, only few people can concentrate intensely. So Cal Newport gave an equation for us so that it's easy for us to understand. See, work accomplished equals time you spent on the work times the intensity of focus. So let's do a quick math. I know many people don't like math, but still this will be a really cool math. Imagine that the work you need to accomplish is roughly 100 units. Okay, let's take units. 100 units. So if you focus intensely, roughly at 100 units, how much time is going to take? Just one. Okay, 1 times 100 is 100 units of work is accomplished. But if you're distracted constantly and you're checking your phone constantly, scrolling away and misusing your time, then it would take, maybe imagine that if you're spending 1 unit of intensity, then it will take you 100 units of time to be accomplished. So to summarize it, if you focus intensely on the things you are doing, then the time that will take to accomplish the task will drastically reduce. But instead, if you waste your time and do all sorts of stuff by not focusing on the stuff, then it will take more time for you to accomplish the same thing. So the ability to focus deeply on the things you are doing is a very important productivity hack. Guys, these days everyone has low attention spans because of shorts and reels. Many people are not able to concentrate more than 1 minute, and if it's more than 2, 3, 4 minutes, the people are losing interest and then just leaving the topic. And this is very bad for our brain health also. I will give you a scientific explanation. If you are able to focus intensely on certain topic for longer time, actually you trigger some cells in your brain called oligodendrocytes. So if you want to learn any skill, you have to make sure that the neural circuit is very strong. That is, if you're doing something, neurons gets activated, right? So it fires. If you want to learn any skill, you need a neural pathway in your brain to fire faster and quicker. In order to make that happen, you need something called myelin sheath that needs to be wrapped around neurons. Okay, once the myelin sheath is wrapped stronger and thicker, the ability for you to do something will become even faster, and you will become skilled at certain tasks. You will become expert at the things you are doing. So when the oligodendrocytes are activated, it will help in the process of wrapping the myelin sheath around the neurons. So if you're not able to concentrate much on the things you are doing, then how can we trigger the oligodendrocytes? So slowly we will lose the ability to concentrate on the things we are doing, and it will be a disaster. Guys, the second lesson I learned from Cal Newport is something called attention residue. Guys, once you learn this topic, your mind will literally get exploded. Imagine this. You're working intensely on certain things and you are completely focused on that topic. But suddenly your phone gets ringed and you check your phone and slowly you get into the habit of scrolling, and after 2-3 minutes you get back to your senses and start doing the work. And you'll think that, oh, nothing happens. See, I came back to my work. It just for a few minutes I got distracted. But that distraction is very expensive. Actually, there was a fascinating study that showed that if you switch between tasks or if you get distracted, you will leave something called a residue behind, and that residue will continue to percolate in your next task. I will explain it very clearly. Imagine that you are working on something very important and suddenly you have this urge to check your emails. You go to your inbox and see some emails and come back to your task. But the study said that if you come back to the task, in order to really come back into the task, it will take more than 20 minutes to get back into the task. So if you get distracted, it will really be expensive to your productivity. Actually, some people say that, oh, I don't believe you. I am very good at multitasking. But in reality, multitasking is a myth. Our brain can't do multiple things at a time, but it can only do task switching, which will obviously kill your productivity. I will give an exercise to do so that you will understand how it is impossible to do the multitasking. Now you have to time yourself. So count from A to J, the alphabets, okay? Do it. Once you do it, please note down the time. Okay, now do it from 1 to 10, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it as fast as you can, okay? Now note down the time as well. Now the real task is try to mix both, like A1, B2. Do it until 10. Now try to time yourself. I will wait for you guys. Please pause the video and come back. So welcome back. Just kidding. So did you really do the exercise? If not, please go back and complete it, because you are not watching these videos just for fun, but to improve in your life, okay? So if you really did the exercise, you will be able to observe one thing, that from A to J, when you count it is easy. From 1 to 10, when you count it's easy, because they are completely different tasks. But when you combine both of these tasks, you will observe that you are taking much more time than those two. So that is why I'm saying that multitasking is a myth and it is very harmful for your productivity. So when you try to switch from one task to another, what happens is that you are carrying the residue from the previous task to the present task, and until you clear up the residue, will keep on damaging your productivity. Actually, that's why cliffhangers are very, very dangerous. Many people think that, okay, I will watch this episode and then come back to my work. But in reality, every episode actually leaves some kind of cliffhanger at the end of it. You will be so much into the episode that you really want to watch another episode, but you have so much of work in front of you, but you still keep on thinking about that previous episode when you're doing the work. So there's an effect called Zeigarnik effect. So that's why many people in the TV industry or movie industry, they try to use cliffhangers, so, because they know that when you're left with something like a cliffhanger, that still plays in your mind and you can't stop thinking that. So that's why you want to watch another episode. So similarly, when you do something and try to come back to the work, you can't focus on the work and you keep on thinking about the residue. So please, when you do something, do it completely, and once it's done, you can do whatever you want. So the third lesson is very, very important for everyone to have a well-balanced life. See, many people do the work, and because of the shallow work many people are doing, the work will keep on getting extended, and they continue to do the work even after the dinner. When they're even with the family, they do the work continuously. But Cal Newport invented something called shut down complete. See, when you're shutting down the computer, like you click shutdown, right? Once it's done, it's completely closed, right? Similarly, what he says is that once you are done with the work, be done. When you work hard, work hard. When you are done, be done. That's the concept of it. He actually, at the end of his work schedule, what he does is that he will plan for the next day. And once it's done, he literally says to himself that shut down complete. Once he says that, he will never do anything after that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So it is very, very important to have a well-balanced life. Imagine that you come home, and after coming home also, you keep on thinking about the work and you keep on doing something related to the work, ignoring your family. It will cause an imbalance that will create some kind of guilt, and that guilt will convert into anger and resentment. So that's why it's important to know that even if it takes more time to complete the work, take more time to complete the work. But once you're done with the work, let's say shut down complete and be away from the work so that you are giving your brain the capacity to think and organize your ideas. Imagine this, that if you keep on feeding your body food, what happens? You will get some kind of disease, right? So dis-ease. Similarly, if you keep on doing the work and if you keep on thinking about the work, you're not able to give the body or the mind the time to organize your ideas or time to relax. So it's like, imagine that you have a sponge in your hand. You dip it in the water and you squeeze it and you rub it, do the work and rub it and squeeze until there is not a single drop of water left in that sponge. It became so dry. So can you use it furthermore for anything? You can't, right? You have to dip it again in the water to refresh it so that it can work again. Similarly, if you keep on squeezing ourselves by working constantly forever, we will get exhausted and we'll get some kind of dis-ease. Actually, if you see world's fastest man, when they are out of race, they relax a lot.
What you've been doing since Rio?
It's just been, first of all, I went on vacation. That was the first thing, but
you will see that why are they so lazy? Because they know that when they have to work, they will work harder. When they have to relax, they relax harder. So the fourth lesson I learned from Cal Newport is very powerful concept. It's called solitude deprivation. So in order to understand this concept, first we need to understand what solitude means. Solitude is a state of mind where we can focus on our own thinking without any distractions. Guys, imagine this. You wake up in the morning, you check your phones. Now on the way to your work or somewhere, you are constantly looking at your phone or listen to some kind of music. Or when you're stuck in the traffic, you listen to song. Especially it is very damaging for children because when they are constantly surrounded by the noise, they are not able to hear their own thoughts. And slowly when they are developing and becoming an adult, they don't know who they are. And they try to search it outside instead of inside. This reminds me of a quote by Swami Vivekananda. He says that if you're not able to spend some time with yourself, your own thoughts, you are missing one of the greatest persons you will ever meet. So what I recommend is that you spend at least 10 minutes. Let's start small, right? We already talked about this, drop by drop, pot fills. So let's start small and make it even better later. So spend at least 10 minutes of your time without having any inputs. Try to be with your own thoughts. Once you're able to be with your own thoughts, you will be able to see what changes you need to do in your daily life, what mistakes are you doing on a regular basis. So you are able to be transparent with yourself. So would you like to do that? Guys, Cal Newport is a very, very rare thinker because he gave that space to himself to do that. So let's learn from this and try to become a better human being. And as you know, I have read more than 600 books till now. And I read a book a day. Many people will think that, oh, it's impossible to read a book a day. I was thinking the same back then, but in reality, it's very, very easy for you to read a book a day. In order to know that, I created a free ebook for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can directly go there and download the free book. And in the book, I have included my top 10 recommendations from all the 600 books I have read. So I bet you will love it. It will be there in the pinned comment as well. Guys, before you leave, I have one question to ask. What is one lesson from this episode that you learned that you're gonna implement from tomorrow? So I'm really looking forward to the comments. Guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome tacklers.
They love me.